Welcome to Omri Unfiltered. This is our first YouTube video. We're so sorry it took so long.
We apologize. I'm Amala.
I'm Marisa. Together we are Omri.
Together we're Omri. Guys, before we get into our Q&A, which we're going to do today, we've compiled questions from my Instagram from you guys. Please like and subscribe because we just started this channel, so you're new here.
Thank you for tuning in. Amala doesn't know the questions. I went through them.
And these are all non-political, correct?
Non-political questions. We're going to get to know Amala on a personal level.
This is Risa, by the way, my best friend, for those of you who do not know her. So
we should tell the story how we met.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
I needed a roommate, and I went on to roommates.com. My current roommate was moving out, and I came across Amala's profile, and it said, I'm a conservative influencer.
Yeah.
So I messaged her, and she was about to move to LA.
I was about to move to LA. I just got a job offer from PragerU. So I went on roommates.com because I had literally no other options. I knew nobody who lived in the city. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go out on a whim and pay a few dollars to be on this website. And I put, I'm a conservative influencer because I had no idea what I was going to run into in Los Angeles. And
she wanted to be transparent.
Right. I didn't want to be with this roommate who was like a raging leftist and hated everything that I did. So I was very straightforward about that.
Yeah. Messaged each other, and then I think we FaceTimed pretty quick. It immediately clicked. And weirdly enough, I had said oh, I've never, seen your content before. But then after we started talking, I was like, wait, I have seen one of your videos. She's walking around Target picking up woke leftist books like Anti-Racist Baby and kind of just going over all the indoctrination.
The video that she saw, that Target video. Let's take a look at the nonfiction section in Target. First, we have me and white supremacy. Next up, how to fight racism. My boyfriend saw the exact same video 2 days before he met me and had it on his phone. So they had the same experience with both of you. And now you're both staples in my life.
It's such a funny story.
So very weird. So that's how we got here.
Yes.
Years later, now we are here starting the channel.
Still besties. No longer roommates, but still besties.
This is true. So now we're going to answer questions that you guys have sent in that are non-political. Since so much of my content is political, we're going to step outside of that today. I'm ready and I'm scared. My non-political questions on Instagram range from feet pics, please,
to skincare routine. Yeah, these are all very random. You guys are all very random, but we're going to go over it. Okay, so first question, and I know that you're going to have an opinion about this. Since you love the 1975 so much. I don't know one 1975 song, but Chelsea Alice Valentine asks, Maddie and Taylor, ? What are your thoughts?
You know what? I'm totally okay. I think everybody should be able to date whoever it is they want. I know this is a super controversial relationship because of personal things, I guess, that Maddie has said about who Ice Spice, and some people perceive him to be racist. But I think anybody who knows that man or his music knows that he's a leftist in every possible way that you could be, other than being super politically correct. So it just seems like our society is built on outrage porn right now, and people love to get outraged about anything and everything. With celebrities in particular, it's super weird. I think the parasocial relationships that people have with celebrities, where they truly think that they're friends or that they know them on a personal level other than consuming their music.
Yeah.
Oh,
Graham! Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's funny how people hold celebrities on this high pedestal. The average person is not perfect. So why do you expect them to be? You expect them to say absolutely nothing wrong?
Right. And what is imperfect about dating somebody who you like? I think there should not be an expectation that because you like somebody's music or you perceive them to be somebody who's just like you, that they actually have to be that, or that they actually have to represent your personal values. Now, it's okay if you don't support her and you don't support her relationship and you don't want to listen to her anymore. But I don't think anybody should have had the expectation in the first place that she was going to be this perfect individual, like you said.
Yeah. Stranded on an island, but can only eat one thing. What is it?
Oh, no. These questions are so difficult.
I know the answer.
Do you know the answer?
Sour candy.
Nutritious and delicious. A well-balanced breakfast.
Would keep you alive for a while.
It would, but I mean, I don't know how your health is gonna look. I was gonna be more practical and say, what is something that they say you can live off forever? Potatoes, right? Isn't that something that they're like, you could, as long as you have potatoes, you can live forever based on the nutritional
That makes sense. It has to be a carb, right?
Right. I don't know. Okay, but if I'm thinking of foods that I really like, yeah, this might steak and onions. Just a basic meal, straightforward. What's your answer to that?
Probably ramen.
How would I know?
Not like packet ramen, guys. Like actually Japanese ramen.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
With broth, with the chicken, the noodles.
I feel like I'd get tired of it after like
Yeah.
day 3.
Since we're talking about food,
Mhm.
what is your favorite beer?
Favorite beer? It's not Bud Light, but we're not getting political today. Stella or
Did you
Yingling?
ever drink Bud Light?
No.
I don't think you.
I always say now I'm gonna not drink it even harder after what they've done.
Yeah.
But I guess Stella or a Yingling, but they don't have
Okay.
Yingling here in California.
Was
so.
that a Florida beer?
It's a East Coast beer,
Ah.
so it's a pretty solid light beer. I'm light beer all the way. I don't like Guinnesses or like stout beers or
Mhm.
IPAs. Anything that is too much, too flavorful, too hoppy, too bitter. Ugh.
Yeah.
So light beers all the way.
Okay, so this is like not about you. It's sort of an advice question.
Okay.
Is it racism if I say that I am not attracted to black men or Asian men?
I wouldn't call it racism because everybody has their personal preferences, and sometimes those preferences fall within the bounds of race. I would call it naive is not the word, but just be careful of making big statements like that because it's almost never true, and there are almost always exceptions to that statement because a lot of people will say, oh, I would never date somebody of this certain race, but if they met a few characteristics that you really like, you would. So I think we think of our preferences and stuff as placing people in groups and just recognizing patterns in ourselves, and that's totally fine, but I can guarantee you there would be a black person or an Asian person out there that you would find attractive and date.
And we're all physically attracted to what we're physically attracted to.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a lot of it is biological. But I think it's nice to look at the world like actually only seeing people for who they are, right? Even materialistic characteristics like height or hair or teeth. Like we should just like get to know people on a personal level, like no matter what their race is or no matter what they look like.
You just never know.
Yeah.
So just always acknowledge that you never know. So when you make these statements of like, I would never, any big statement like using never or always or all this group of people or whatever, you're bound to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people wanted to know this question. Share your skincare routine. So yeah, people want to know why you're glowing all the time.
Oh man, makeup and lighting. But no, I am not very picky or regimented in how I do my skincare whatsoever. I get like CeraVe or Cetaphil, some sort of like sensitive skin cleanser. I do that in the morning, and not every morning, but I would say every other morning and every single night I use that cleanser. And then as far as moisturizers go, I recently upped my game. Now I'm a Dermatologica girl. Not sponsored. But now I'm a Dermatological girl because
she's got the money now.
Yeah, right. Now I can actually get better moisturizers. So that's what I do. What are extra things? Like if I'm being extra, I'll do a hyaluronic acid serum on my skin, and then every 3 days, a lactic acid on my skin for exfoliation.
What struggles do you face on a daily basis?
I mean, there's the normal woman stuff of like, how do I look, especially in a career where you're constantly on camera and people constantly have things to say about how you look on camera. So there's that. I think I'd say I'm a more anxious person than most people would think that I am, at least, because while doing very well on camera and stuff in videos and all these things, I get quite nervous when I have big life events happen, like big speeches, big events that I have to do, big projects. It can really weigh on me. Even if I'm not actively thinking that it's weighing on me, I think it will like physically weigh on my body.
I feel like you are always super prepared when you have.
Dude.
So
I'm so prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's funny to me that you're anxious sometimes.
I think preparation is a mechanism of my anxiety. So if I have a speech that I'm going to do in like a week from now that is an hour long, I will prepare everything that I'm going to say down to the minute.
Yeah.
Like all the way down. So maybe that's not normal. I don't know. I've met other people who do this job who are just like, oh, I write bullet points and then I go and give my
Yeah.
speech. No, generally I'm doing fine all the time.
You always seem like you're doing fine.
Right,
but
right.
We all get a little anxious,
Yeah.
I think.
You don't seem like an anxious person.
I don't think I am as much as most people. Because
Right.
wouldn't you say majority of people are more anxious than not?
Yeah, I
just
think a
feel like
lot of
everyone
people are
around
like
me
walking
is-
around with insecurities constantly, like
Yeah.
circling through their head, and they're constantly thinking like me, like this is what's wrong with me. How are people perceiving me? And
Like
that
overthinking everything.
right.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that.
No. Chill vibes.
Yeah,
She's
it's
like,
just like
anxiety. I don't do that.
it's the exact same feeling as being excited.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times when you're anxious about something, you can either control it or you can't. So if you can control it, do whatever it takes to handle it. You know,
Yeah.
like take the steps. And then if you can't control it, you just have to let whatever happen. You know, it's
100%.
and yeah, I think that's how I think about life is like any problem that happens, I handle it. Like that's just my mindset.
I think with anxiety, I'm just like, okay, I'm feeling anxiety towards X, and maybe it's an event or a project that I have or something personal. I'm just like, okay, if you're feeling anxious, it's something you have to face, and it's like something you have to conquer. So take whatever route you got to take to get to the place you need to be, but you got to get to the place. And I will be anxious all the way up until the point that I'm giving the speech, and then I'm like in it, black out while I'm giving it, and then at the end, you're just like, oh, I did it. Okay.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more the anxiety dissipates. Rejection therapy, I guess is what they're calling it now. Have you seen that?
No, what is that?
So if you struggle with rejection or anxiety surrounding that, you are supposed to place yourself in positions of being rejected, like go to a coffee shop and ask for something they don't have, or like yeah, or
Well, so will they assign you to do it? Like, or they give you the task?
I've heard of girls who are like going to therapists that assign them things to do, and then some of them just get creative and are doing it on their own. I saw this girl on TikTok who like her prompt was like go out into a busy walkway, lay down a yoga mat and start meditating in front of everybody, and she just went and did it. And it's supposed to just make you comfortable with being uncomfortable and being embarrassed, or like conquer the feeling of being embarrassed.
It sounds like it would work.
Yeah, because then you realize nobody really cares about what you do.
Yeah.
They're just leading their own lives and thinking about themselves just like everyone else. Oh.
Maybe we should do a video on that where we do
We should try
you
it.
and I wouldn't care. Like we would do it.
We would do it. But it is interesting.
Favorite song at the moment?
Favorite song at the moment. I keep answering this one. It's the 1975 by the 1975 on their most recent album. That is one of the best songs. I just think it speaks to the time that we're in right now. It talks about social media and how we're all just mining certain characteristics that we think are valuable to other people and selling them on the internet, and just the state of being young right now is a really just a turbulent, weird time for young people. So yeah, it's got this lyric that I'm sorry if you're living and you're 17, and that resonates with me, of just like being a young person right now. It's just a weird time to be alive and taking in the world.
Yeah.
Which it always is, right? It's always a weird time to be a young person in whatever era you're in.
It's always tough. It's tough to be young.
Yeah.
But I do feel like now it seems tougher with social media and the rates of depression and suicide, which is really sad. Like I'm really glad that I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah.
Like I already had my own issues, and like the things that you deal with as a teenager, not being liked or feeling jealous or not feeling good enough, but now it's like triple the time.
Right. I didn't get social media, or wasn't really introduced to social media until I was in my teens, probably like 13 or 14, when I started seeing people popping up on, I think Instagram was the big one, and of course Facebook. But I feel like I was in the perfect timing of like not being wholly indoctrinated by social media and experiencing all of the body dysmorphia and all of these issues. I mean, I had a little bit, of course, you're seeing all these models everywhere all the time. And we were in the phase of social media where right now it's a lot more vulnerable, and girls are crying on the internet and talking about like, this is what real bodies look like, and they're talking about mental health issues and stuff. I feel like in our age of social media, it was like, here's a highlight reel of my life and everything's perfect all the time, and I'm on vacation and I make all this money. So you had this like peak performance life that you were seeing all the time. Now it's a lot more well-rounded, but a lot more well-rounded with like really horrible stuff that maybe you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
watching and hearing about all the time.
What is your favorite musical?
Ooh, I'm just gonna have to say favorite musical for the moment, because it's always changing. I'm gonna mention two right now. One is Into the Woods, which is actually coming to LA soon,
Yes, you told me that.
and I
Yeah.
do want to go see it. And the second one is a lesser known musical by the name of Dogfight. And Dogfight's based on a movie that you guys can check out. It's a horrible premise about this guy who's about to get shipped off to Vietnam with a group of his friends, and they have this game they do called the dog fight, which is like who can get the ugliest girl to show up to this party with them and win the dog fight. And then they put all their money in a pool, and
What?
yeah, they're all working to get the ugliest girl. And this guy is ends up being a good guy, but is invested in this dogfight and is trying to find a girl. And he finds this girl who happens to sing and all this stuff, and she's not the most beautiful, I guess, and invites her to the dogfight. And it's all about what happens after he does that. So yeah,
Dating advice for meeting women.
rough time for guys out there, I think, in the dating pool, because a lot of girls just don't want to be approached, or if they do, you don't know how to approach them. One thing is just do the things that you would want the person that you're dating to be doing, and like be in those sorts of places. I really can't speak because I met my boyfriend at a bar, and that is certainly not what I would.
But it was natural.
It was natural, but I wouldn't want to be dating somebody who's like bar hopping all the time. He just happened to be there on a night where
And it
he
was
would
a
have
Tuesday,
never
I
gone
think.
out.
It was like
Yeah,
we were just having drinks.
yeah.
But I don't even remember what was the first thing he said to us.
He ordered some shrimp. He had a shrimp on a fork, and I turned and made eye contact with him, and he goes, "You want one?"
That sounds good. I'll have that.
That was the first thing he
Okay, I
said.
remember now.
Do you want
yeah.
one? And we got into a conversation.
Yeah.
He was generous right out of the gate.
Yeah. And she noticed him before too, so
I did. I literally turned over.
She
I
was
saw
like-
how
she
cute
was
he
like, "Is
was
he-"
and just went,
she's like, "Is he cute?" I was like, "Yeah, he's cute."
yeah, he was gorgeous just sitting next to me, and I did not know what to do. So when I see cute men, I am not an engager. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
back to our conversation.
I think good advice is just be normal. Some guys think that there has to be a line or something funny. You think too much about it. I get a lot of guys insulting me when they first meet me, and there's actually a psychological reason why they do that, because you just come up and say, "Hi, my name is. How are you?" That's good. You'll be able to tell if somebody's interested in you when you walk up to them.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part with
Read
women.
the cues.
Yeah, just learn how to read the room. And that can happen through having just very platonic conversations with a lot of people. I think just going out and conversing with people, irrespective of whether or not you're trying to get a date out of them or get their number or whatever, it just hones in on your communication skills, and you get better at just like reading situations without having any stake in the game. Because if
Yeah.
you're bad at reading situations with women who you're trying to date, the rejection is going to be so much more penetrating, and you're going to have so much more of like a visceral feeling about it. You should just practice on people that you're not, just try to make friends and see how that goes for you.
Yeah.
And you'll use the same exact technique that you use for making friends with somebody who you want to
Yeah.
go on a date with. As far as what not to do, let's think of what men have done. Reese and I, especially when I first moved here, would go out all the time, and constantly men would do things that are just like, I cannot believe you thought that was a good move
Yeah.
for the
It's
first
bad out there.
snatching cell phones. That's a big one that I think
Yes.
happened so many times that I was actually shocked that men felt
Yeah.
so and it's a dominance thing, of course. They want to like display their dominance and like be
Yeah.
playful.
Like get off your phone, or what are
And-
you looking at on your phone?
You had a man recently tug on the hood of
Yes.
your jacket, which I thought was really strange.
He was right behind me, and all of a sudden I feel a tug on my hoodie. And he's like, "Sorry, when I see a hoodie, I just can't control myself." You know, stuff like that happens, and you're just like, did that just happen?
That's wild. I'd be like, no, just not today. Touching. Don't immediately go up and touch somebody to start
Yeah.
engaging with them. You feel that out first.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Don't ask me what my ethnicity is.
There's a lot of that too. Yeah, there's a lot of.
And
We're
you-
both very ambiguous.
Yeah, so it's interesting to people, but don't be that first thing. That, like, you can't just come up and ask somebody that. You can ask me after like the third question, but if it is the first thing you say, I'm going to be annoyed, and I'm going to lie to you
That's interesting.
about my ethnicity.
Ease into it, guys.
Okay, I will say, what do you think about guys buying girls drinks?
I think it's fine as long as you're not doing so with an expectation. If you buy a girl a drink and then you walk up to her and suddenly she doesn't want to have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
you don't. It's not a transaction. I think a lot of people view it as a transaction, which is why I think it's probably better to talk to the woman you're trying to talk to first and then say, "Can I buy you a drink, or would you like me to buy you a drink?" And then she can tell you yes or no, because then you're putting the ball in her court of whether or not they want to continue having a
Yeah.
conversation. If you just go like, buy a girl a drink and she's like, "Oh, it's from that guy over there," it's like, okay, cool. For me, if a bartender comes up to me and sends me a drink and is like, "It's from the guy over there," it's kind of like in high school when a guy would walk up to you and be like, "My friend thinks you're cute."
Yeah. And I will also say, like, if you are a female and you accept a drink, I do think that it's polite to give this person time to talk to them.
Right.
I don't think that you should just accept a drink and just,
Right.
unless
after
it's
he
being sent
asks.
to you. Like,
yeah,
after-
yeah. Unless it's already been sent.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
There are certainly girls that will go around just like farming for free drinks.
Farming for exactly.
100%. And they're just like, "Where can I get
What's
a free
that called,
drink?
like,
Where can
club rat? What?
I
Table
don't-
rat.
Table rat. I've never heard that. That's so funny. Which it's like the same girls who go on dates for free meals. You
Drake or Michael Jackson? Be real.
Michael, come on now.
Obviously.
Drake, the person who actually writes their songs, maybe. There's a Kendrick Lamar
Yeah.
lyric. Most of y'all share bars like you got the bottom bunk in a 2-man cell. And that's how I feel about Drake.
How many more tattoos do you plan on getting?
Not many, if really any more. I might get some small ones or something like that. I really don't plan on adding much to my body. I've been going back and forth on the whole Black Power fist of whether or not I cover it up or laser it off or whatever, because it's been there for a while and I'm kind of tired of it. But the dragon, I have always loved. This was going to be covered up, and essentially this whole arm was going to be just an ode to my favorite films by Hayao Miyazaki, and in a Japanese style, but just haven't gotten around to it. And it's a pain thing. It was super painful. It took
Yeah,
10
it's-
hours.
10 hours in
Just
one
a-
sitting.
2 5-hour.
2 5 hours.
2 5-hour
It's still a long
sessions.
time.
Very long time. I've never had a greater test of my mental fortitude than sitting
Yeah.
and getting this done for 10 hours.
There's a lot of people that judge your tattoos in your line of work.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I don't care. I don't know. I think there's people who are maybe fundamentalist in some of their religious beliefs and are saying the body's a
Yeah.
temple, you cannot put things into it, and that's fine. There's other people who just don't like tattoos and feel the need to tell you. It's like, guess what?
Yeah.
You know what? The great thing about you not liking tattoos is that they're not on your body.
Yeah. What movie character would you like to play?
Ooh, I'm gonna answer something lame and nerdy. And there is a musical called The Last 5 Years about 5
Yeah, you
years of
would
a
be singing.
relationship. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be singing. And there's a character called Kathy, and that is the character that I would play. You don't really watch movies, so
I don't watch movies at all.
she's like, I want to be Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas because that's the only movie I've ever seen.
That's my favorite movie. No, it would be any like Tomb Raider.
Okay, like a
Yeah.
badass
Yeah.
chick. Okay.
I would love to be Angelina Jolie in the Tomb Raider. I think.
Okay. You want like a badass action movie.
Yes.
Do
Do some
that.
martial arts.
Very cool.
Shoot some guns. Yeah, that's who I am.
We do like to shoot guns.
We do like to shoot guns.
Does that conclude our Q&A?
I think so. I think this was a good Q&A.
Hopefully you guys got to know a little bit more about me. If you have any other questions, or you
We'll
want to
do
see a
more
part
of
2.
these. Yeah. We'll do
Yeah.
more.
Oh, we're going to
It's
explore
gonna
more
be
things.
fun.
If you have any ideas about videos you want us to make or create,
We need it. We need
Yes.
the ideas.
drop them in the comments down below. And like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time we post a video. It will be sporadically, as this is a second project for the both of us. And we're both hustlers in
Yeah,
our
we work a lot.
respective fields. So we're going to get other projects out here on YouTube. My strap keeps coming off, so that's cool. Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. Hope you enjoy.
Yes. Thank you for watching.
Bye.